Surround yourself with uplifting people. Break up with your sorrows. Don't waste your time, leave your struggles behind and smile. It's your best makeup.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Songs of My Life. My name is Luana Sandoval, and today I have a special guest. She is a phenomenal fiddle player. Please welcome Merna Lewis to the studio.
Hello, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for being on the show.
Excited to be here. This is really cool.
Yeah. So tell me, how did you get started as a musician and fiddle player?
My aunt taught me. Music has been part of my family for a long time. Great-grandpa played fiddle, grandma played violin, but my aunt is who taught me how to play.
Oh, good. And which technique have you learned first?
I learned traditional fiddle style, so bluegrass, fiddle contest tunes, and then my aunt was also trained classically, so she made sure that I had a little bit of classical training too.
So you can also read sheet music, if I give you a Vivaldi piece of music, and then you are able to play it.
I'm able to get through it.
Side read it.
Yeah, I don't know if I can read fast, but I can read it. I understand it. It's a whole language, so yeah.
It is, yes. And tell me about your background, where you grew up.
I grew up in Colorado, out in the country. I was a country girl in just a little tiny town. I think I graduated with 92 people. This is a little tiny school. And I played fiddle pretty much my whole life. Everybody knows me there as a fiddle player. So.
Oh, good. And when did you move to Nashville and why?
I moved to Nashville in 2002, and I came here because it was always something I wanted to do. I saw Garth Brooks on a concert in New York City, his big New York City concert, and I saw his fiddle player running all over the stage. I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to do that. And I just knew Nashville was kind of the path that I needed to go, so eventually I ended up moving here.
That's wonderful. And tell the audience, where do you play? Where can people see you perform?
All over. Right now I'm playing a lot down on Lower Broadway, so the Nashville Honky Tonks, and some places off Broadway, some songwriter round places, and where they do feature showcases and stuff like that. But most days I'm down on Broadway.
That's wonderful. And you mainly play fiddle, country, cover songs. Do you also play original music for other artists?
I do, yes. That's my favorite, because I get to kind of put my own little, piece of me on somebody else's music and explore different styles. I've played with a lot of different styles of music, so yeah, I play country and bluegrass and blues and whatever your stuff is.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
You have a good mix of songs.
Thank you so much. And we met on Facebook. There are so many groups for musicians, and we met when I just moved to Nashville in December of 2020, and I saw you were live streaming from, I think it was Nudies. Okay. And then I reached out to you, and you invited me to perform at Tootsie's.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so you were just, kind of new in town, and I like to help people get their foot in the door, and so I invited you to come on out and hang out and see what it was like, and I wanted to hear you sing, so I got you up to sing with us, and you did fabulous.
Yeah, it was so much fun. We sang Ring of Fire.
You sang Crazy.
Crazy, Patsy Cline, and we were.
I Love Rock and Roll.
I Love Rock and Roll, yes.
Yeah. It was a good mix of songs.
Oh yes. The audience was crazy, yeah.
Yeah, they loved you.
Yeah,
they loved you.
Really
they loved your accent, so I love accents too.
Oh yeah, thank you. And what was the hardest part when you learned, when you started out learning the fiddle?
The hardest thing about learning any instrument is the discipline to practice. I never wanted to practice. It was always not fun. But for some reason, the way to get me to practice, I would pretend like I was teaching. So I would set up all my stuffed animals and my dolls on my bed, and I would give them lessons, and that's how I would practice my tunes.
That's wonderful.
I don't know where I saw that or what made me want to do that, but that kind of helped me to get inspired to practice. And make it fun.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's probably the hardest thing is practicing.
And tell me about your fiddle lessons back then. How was it, like structured and?
Well, my aunt she was a great teacher. She was very patient. I think I had a little bit of a leg up because I was around music so much. My aunt played in my family band, and I was always around it. You know, on Sunday afternoons after church, we'd have a jam session. And so I think she was probably a little bit more particular about me learning because she really wanted me to learn. But I just, just basic stuff, just learned basic things. I learned the note names instead of numbers.
Yeah.
So I played an A and a B instead of a first, second, third, because you play too, or have. And so I learned by notes, and then I learned how to read music. So I learned how to translate the notes into the actual notes.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good. And have you ever played in orchestras, or have you competed?
Yes, both.
Okay.
I was in a youth orchestra when I was probably middle school age. I was first chair violin.
Oh.
And it was fun, kind of got me around that, just to explore what it was like. I also did some solo ensemble competitions, so my aunt was playing piano and I was playing classical pieces.
Oh, beautiful.
Can
you name some pieces you have?
No. I do remember one, for some reason, Shardosh is probably one. I couldn't play it for you. I have no idea how it goes now, but and honestly, I don't even really remember how I did in the competition. I think it was more just to kind of get in that world and see what it was like and have that classical training behind me.
Oh, good.
Also, I competed in fiddle contests, so we'd travel around regionally to state fairs and little local regional fiddle contests, and there may be 3 contestants on stage, there may be hundreds of contestants, and that was really good for me too. That's what made me practice too, was I really wanted to learn those tunes so I could win, because I hated losing.
Oh, okay. How would you describe the difference between fiddle playing and classical violin playing?
Yeah, so fiddle is kind of what you see in country music, maybe a little bit of jazz. Classical is more what you would see in an orchestra setting, or a violinist with a piano player playing just that real pretty orchestral stuff you hear in movies and on soundtracks and that kind of stuff. Fiddle is, a lot of people like to think that it's the hoedown, put your overalls on and your cowboy hat and go play fiddle music. But I mean, that's kind of where it started. But, traditionally, fiddle music is just kind of fun, a little bit more laid back than classical. Just, get down and get your fiddle and your bow and start playing. I don't know.
Yeah, I see that. And also the sound is different, the type of playing. Can you describe it a little bit? Let's say you would play a Mozart piece versus a country song. Yeah. So.
Most classical pieces are a lot more structured. You learn it off the music and that's how you play it. Fiddle music is a little more improvisational. If you ever go to a fiddle contest, which you should, it's pretty cool. You might hear the same song over and over again from different people, but they all have their own little spin on it. They all kind of put their own little improvisation in it. Even though it's still the structure of the song, you still kind of hear a little bit of that person's technique and, the other person's style. They kind of make it their own.
Makes sense. Which song are you performing for us today?
I'm going to play Red Wing. It was one of the first songs I learned. It was my great-grandma Merna's favorite song. And it's a traditional fiddle tune by F.A. Mills, who wrote it.
Oh, wow. And from which year is it?
1907.
Oh, wow. That's very exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy Red Wing, written by F.A. Mills, performed by Merna Lewis. All right, let's talk about how we collaborated on 3 songs.
Yeah. Thank you for asking me to play on your stuff too.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
It's a pleasure to have you on my recordings.
Thank you.
So I sent you 3 demos, and I hired Elvan Easton, who was playing the piano. And how was it for you? Like, how did you put the violin pieces together?
Yeah. He did a great job, by the way.
Yeah.
The piano was beautiful. So you just sent me, you know, an MP3 track, and I plugged it into the computer and basically just played along with it. I charted it out so I knew the structure of the song and what key it was in, and then just kind of played along with it the first time through, just so I could get familiar with the song. And then I kind of pieced out where I might play a fill or a solo or even a harmony part to it. And then I sent it back to you, and we call those flying tracks in the studio world. So I flew the tracks back to you.
Oh, flying tracks. Okay,
Yeah.
I never heard this term.
Yeah.
And you sent me different options so I could pick between the harmonies for each song. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to do that so you're not stuck with just one. You know, if I play something that you don't like, I want you to be able to choose something that you really did like, that you could just kind of move and put it in its place.
Yeah.
Digital technology is amazing. You can just cut and paste and move stuff around.
It is.
So-
And did you have help with the recordings?
I did. I go to my friend Troy's house. He's also a songwriter in town.
Okay.
And he's got it all set up and does a great job, and we collaborate well together. He actually kind of sits there and, you know, oh, I didn't really like what you played there, let's try that again, or yeah, that was really cool, I really liked that. So he's
good.
great to collaborate with.
Have you also read the lyrics, or have you just listened to the piano?
Yeah, I had the lyrics too. I
Okay.
asked you to send me some of the lyrics so I could kind of understand what the song was, and understand the story behind the song, get a little bit of feeling into it, and that way, if there's, you know, a signature part, or you know, something where you're talking about flying or something like that, then I can kind of emphasize that on the instrument and make it sound like somebody would feel if they heard the song, like, oh yeah, that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling I'm flying away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I went to the studio. I work with Pat Lassiter. He's a great music producer, and then we pieced it all together. So I never met Elvan Easton, who's playing the piano. We met also on Facebook.
So you would send me the tracks from wherever you were in New York, right?
I was in Nashville during
Oh,
that
you
time.
were?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like way out of the way. Okay. So you would send me the tracks in Nashville, and I would go to my friend's house and record them there. And then you had your piano.
Yeah, Elvan Easton. I found him on Facebook. He sent me a track.
Where was he located?
He's based in Nashville too.
Oh, so we're all in Nashville.
But we have so busy schedules, and it's hard to find time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. Thought
It
we
is
were all
funny.
in different places.
And for the other track, I had Lindsay, who was my co-writer, and she played the guitar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. There was acoustic guitar.
There
on
was a
that one,
little
too.
bit like up-tempo, kind of joyful song.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to perform that one next time.
Oh yeah, we should. Yeah, on Broadway.
Yeah,
Tootsies.
let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. Which software did you use to record the violin?
I used, we used Pro Tools to record, and then I think I used WeTransfer to send them back to you.
Yes.
Because Google Drive, I don't know, it wouldn't accept it or something. So WeTransfer is what I use for mine.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Yeah.
All in Nashville, but we.
I love how that all just comes together.
Right,
You know, you just, if the program works right, you just hit enter and it all just kind of comes up, and it's pretty neat how
I love it,
how it works.
Yeah.
It's like being in the studio for real.
Yes, it sounds like we were all together in the same room.
So you had just me on fiddle and then piano and vocals, right?
That's it. Yes.
Okay. And then Pat.
Yeah, Pat.
Producing.
Yeah, and then I performed those tracks in New York at the Tri Theater in September.
Wow.
And people loved it.
Awesome.
Yes.
Very cool.
And it sounds like we were all in the same room. But Pat, he's great in mixing and mastering and putting it all together.
He's got a great ear. Yeah,
Yes.
he's amazing.
And he has this from the 70s, all this equipment.
Oh, wow.
This beautiful microphone. And
Yeah.
Have you ever been to his studio?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, got a great studio, and he's a musician too, so he understands kind of, you know, what songs need and what they don't.
Yeah.
A lot of times people get busy with the music and put too much in it when it just needs a little dabble of something here and there.
Less is more.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, yeah. So we're gonna perform Goodbye for Now together.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, we have a little break, so stay tuned.
Caught between two words that won't collide. I swear I gave my all, I truly tried. My heart remains divided, set in stone, decided. It's time for me to swallow my pride. So it's time to say goodbye, at least for now. Spread my wings and fly somewhere, somehow. Nothing lasts forever, someday we'll be together. But it's time to say goodbye, at least for now. It gave me all the comfort one could ask. Although we knew the truth, it couldn't last. A temporary fixture, an almost perfect picture. But it's time for me to put down my mask. So it's time to say goodbye, at least for now. Spread my wings and fly somewhere, somehow. Nothing lasts forever, someday we'll be together. But it's time to say goodbye, at least for now. Every time I see you, I don't wanna leave you. It's time to take my bow, it breaks my heart in two. So it's time to say goodbye, at least for now. Spread my wings and fly somewhere, somehow. Nothing lasts forever, someday we'll be together. But it's time to say goodbye, at least for now.
All right. Welcome back. And let's talk about some other techniques. I learned violin when I was 12 years old, and I learned like normal right-handed, and then within 2 weeks I didn't make any progress. And my teacher was like, okay, why don't you learn left-handed? And then he knew somebody who was putting violins together, and there was a violin that was open, and then he said, okay, why don't you call him, and he can turn it all upside down.
Wow.
And this violin was already 80 years old.
Dang.
And cost about 2,000 euros.
Wow.
Yeah, and then he, my teacher, he's from Poland, and he taught me a technique with a coin. I don't know if you have ever heard about it.
I've not.
So I have a coin here, and then he put the coin on my hand, and he was like, okay, never drop the coin. This is how you learn how to hold your bow.
Oh, wow.
So that's how I learned to. Okay, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah. So this was mountains and valleys for me. So.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I don't know if I can do this.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yes.
I'll have to practice with it though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah.
It's a good way to keep your hands steady.
Yeah.
Interesting. I've
It's
never
really
seen that before.
interesting. Yes. Yeah.
I always had people just, kind of do this, like loosen up,
Okay.
loosen up.
No, I learned with a coin, and then he also wanted me to play with it, like really go all the way up and down.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have to try that.
Yes, it's really cool. And then I also had another teacher. She's from Macedonia, and because my in my case, since I'm left-handed, my right hand was a little stiff because I didn't play for a few years violin, but then I got back into it. And then she taught me a technique to loosen up my fingers like this. I don't know if you, do you have?
I guess it would be this hand.
Would be your left hand, yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And that's to loosen up the muscles
To loosen up
here.
and also to practice the vibrato.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I learned vibrato this way on my hand, that way.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, everybody has their own way of teaching.
Techniques,
Yeah.
yes. I love it.
Yeah.
So you learn from each other. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
I'm going to try the coin thing. That's
The
pretty
coin
cool.
thing is really cool, yeah.
Yeah.
I learned that, and then I also played in the orchestra, and they put me on the first violin, and I played on the outside since the bows go this way, and I was the only one playing.
Oh, how funny.
That was fun, yeah.
So they put you on the outside so you wouldn't hit anybody.
Right.
Huh.
Otherwise,
Okay.
could go into your eye.
Yeah. I've been in situations before
Oh, really?
in tight bands where you just really have to be careful about
Yes.
where you stand. And I mean, I hit people all the time because they're just too close to me. I have my bubble. Stay out of my bubble.
Right. That's cool. Yeah. And do you have any artists that inspired you to get started with fiddle?
Yeah. Well, of course, my aunt.
Uh-huh.
My grandmother played violin, but I never got to meet her. She passed away before I was born. But I feel like, she's kind of in my soul a little bit. But I had Johnny Gimble was a huge favorite of mine. He played with Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys. Mark O'Connor was a little bit of an influence to me. And here lately, Janae Fleener, she's on everybody's records now, and she's played with everybody, and she's an amazing fiddle player, very sweet person. But so I'm kind of inspired by her. She's kind of leading the path for women fiddle players right now in the music industry. So I'm inspired by her too.
That's wonderful. Great. Where can people find you?
The Barefoot Fiddler.
The Barefoot Fiddler, and she's
Well,
now you have shoes on, but not for the performance. Wonderful. If you have any questions regarding fiddle or music production, you can send them to info@luanasandoval.com. I will forward them to you.
yes.
And or if you want to co-write with us, send those questions and requests to my email. And I'll see you in the next episode. And thank you for tuning in. Bye.